today. We are Predator Instinct TV, and we're going to take just a minute to introduce ourselves, maybe throw each other under the bus a little bit. But we appreciate y'all coming out. My name's Todd Woodall. Me and Cal started Predator Instinct a couple years ago. Just a predator hunting show that we really enjoyed to do. We really wanted a show that was fun and family oriented, and we're pleased with where we're at. And thank y'all for coming out. I grew up here about 15 miles away in Mount Calm, Texas. So anybody that hunts around here local, I've hunted some very, very similar terrain to what y'all are hunting, and we're going to give a few tips and techniques on how to hunt around here and the rest of the country. A lot of it's a lot of bleed over. I mean, simple tactics can apply to anywhere, and we all live in 3 different areas, so we got a little bit of different perspective. And this is Cal Ferguson.
First of all, I'd just like to thank everybody for all the overwhelming support for the show this year. We've got a lot of positive feedback, and like Todd said, we want the show to be educational, but more than anything, we want to be ourselves and have fun, and want you guys to watch and think, man, that looks just like me and my buddies out there, you know, just cutting up and having fun and razzing each other and throwing each other under the bus. So thanks for everything and all the support and stuff. Stay tuned. We've already got a bunch of episodes in the can for next year, and it's going to be even better next year. So that's my brother Clint.
I'm just the other guy. I just ride around the truck with these two. They know what they're doing. I just hang out and have fun.
Yeah.
Everybody here, Todd, he's going to get us started off. Hear us out there. He stutters a little bit, so you just have to bear with him.
That is true. All right, this seminar officially is named Shotgunning Coyotes at the Decoy by Predator Instinct. And that is true. That's what we're going to talk about today, is using the shotgun with the decoy. It's kind of our MO. It's what we really love to do. We set up every stand we set down on to try to shoot them at 20 yards. There's nothing like getting them close, and that's what we like to do. But shotgunning coyotes at the decoy isn't what we like to call it. We like to call it shooting them in the face, because that's basically what we're doing. And it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat one just running down at you and being right there on top of the decoy. This is going to be a pretty simple seminar. It's not going to be super in-depth. If y'all have any questions at all, feel free to ask. I mean, this is about y'all as much as it is us, so just ask any question you got, and we'll be more than happy to answer. First thing, when you're going to be hunting predators with a shotgun, is figuring out what kind of shotgun you want to use. You know, when I first started using the shotgun, it's pretty much go grab your dove hunting shotgun or whatever shotgun you had to lay around. Everybody's got a shotgun. This is Texas. So, but a couple things that you really need to remember to do is pattern your shotgun. Get some loads that you're wanting to shoot. Take your shotgun out. Shoot it at a paper plate at 30 yards. Shoot it at a target. There's a lot of different targets out there now. And we really like a shotgun to pattern about a basketball at 30 yards. We don't want our shotguns shooting like a rifle, because when they're 10 yards, I mean, you're shooting a pattern that big. So at 50 yards, it might be closer to a beach ball or a hula hoop. But that's what we like to do. And a lot of running shots, when you're calling with a decoy, especially electronic calls, man, those coyotes are coming in, they're seeing you, they're seeing the decoy, and they're barreling down on top of it in a hurry. But they're going to get there in a hurry. So a lot of times they're leaving faster than they came. So you need a shotgun that you can have a little pattern to it where you can hit them leaving. One of the things that we've used for several years now is EOTech holographic weapon sights. And I'll be honest with you, I've never really had a problem shooting a shotgun. I probably shoot a shotgun better than I do a rifle most times.
That ain't saying much.
But anyway, we started using EOTech, and it's one of those deals I thought, well, it'll probably help a little bit, but probably don't have to have it. But I tell you what, it has definitely improved our shotgun accuracy by far, especially on shots that are 50 yards, cat or coyote standing out there. You can really pinpoint it, and it helps a ton. So if you're using the shotgun, which I know a lot of people are these days, check them out. They're really hard to beat.
As far as ammo goes, what we shot primarily this year is a Hornady 3-inch BBs. It's a new load that Hornady just came out with. We've had really good success with them. Got to shoot a bunch of them here a couple weeks ago. Did a helicopter hunt. I don't know if any of you guys seen that this week, but man, it's a hammer. They worked really well.
Some of us shot more than others.
Yeah.
It took me a couple shots to hit the first one, but after that I got the hang of it.
But you know, I think as far as case size goes, bigger's better. We shoot 3.5 some too. Tee shot works great. The bigger shot, you know, anything over number 4, I think you're better off to go with something a little smaller. For the kiddos, my kids are shooting a Mossberg SA20. We're shooting 3-inch number 2s out of it, I think. And I've had really good luck with that. My youngest boy is 11, and he shot a bobcat 2 weeks ago from probably 35 yards and just stoned him. So, but when you're picking out your different shotgun shells, there's kind of a groove there for the shotgun, choke, and ammo combo. I mean, it's like anything else. I mean, you've got your old trusty 7 mag that you deer hunt with that won't shoot, you know, Remington core locks for nothing, but you can shoot a Hornady SST through it and it shoots just right. It's the same with chokes and shotgun combos and ammo combos, but I think the key is, like Todd said, you know, getting out and patterning it and trying different stuff, and once you get that kind of perfect combination, is the next one choked or is it on this?
I think it's on this.
Yeah. The choke we're shooting right now is a Carlson's Dead Coyote, and with those Hornady 3-inch BBs or the 3.5-inch T-shot Dead Coyotes, both, it's a good combo, works really well. So,
the helicopter hunt we went on, or that aired last week, that was really a hunt that, man, it just begs for mediocre shots and shots that are iffy because you just got so much going on. But we were impressed with it. You know, that load handled them really, really well, and there was a whole lot of bang flops out of the helicopter.
Yeah, so they really did good. So we kind of been prodding Hornady for a while to go ahead and make a 3-inch instead of just 2 3/4, and they answered that. And I don't know that it's out on the market yet. I know the shells that we got were in unmarked boxes. The shells weren't even marked. So
They're supposed to be out by now.
Yeah, they worked really well for us. So like I said, the key is just trying to find that good combination there and try different things until you get what you're looking for.
I know a lot of people shoot 3-inch. Some say it patterns better than a 3.5, or there's only 4 more pellets in a 3.5 than a 3. We like to shoot biggest we can get most of the time. We were asked one time, why do we shoot 3.5s? And we said because they don't make a 4. So we like knockdown power.
My wife weighs, well, I can't say what my wife weighs. She's a little bitty old thing. And she can shoot 3.5s, and she can shoot, my 15-year-old boy weighs 110 pounds. He can shoot 3.5s. Anybody can do it. I mean, I think it's worth it.
That's a little bit hard to see.
Yeah, can y'all see that all right? The next thing is just picking the stand. Everybody hunts in different country. I mean, Texas is the most diversified, or New Mexico, or California, wherever you get to go. Some people get to go to pretty places. It's what, it'll make you or break you. If you don't have a good stand, you know, it's not worth setting the time, you know, sitting there. If you're sitting there and you've only got 5 foot to where you can see to where they'll be gone, you know, it's not worth sitting up taking the time to call. A lot of times the 3 of us, it's pretty funny in the truck, we'll get to arguing because you're like, oh yeah, right over this hill. And you go over this hill, and then you get out of the truck and everybody's carrying something, and then it's over this hill. And then we're walking, and then we've already been a mile and we're looking at each other like, yeah, well, this wasn't a good idea. But if you're familiar with the country and you know which way the wind's going, there's several different ranches. We'll hunt different ways depending upon which way the wind's blowing. We always set up, you know, so we're calling into the wind. You know, we like to set up to where we can see them coming for a long ways. It's a little different because we like to catch them on film, you know, covering a lot of territory. We have the opportunity to hunt a lot of open country. Not so much, you know, down around here where it's so much, you know, with all the thick brush, it's a little tougher down here. But we're lucky enough to have the, you know, opportunity to hunt the open country. We like to set up high so you can see them coming in. And that also gives you the opportunity to work them with a call. You know, you can turn that call up pretty loud, and then as they're coming in, it gives you the time to turn the call down and get them all the way to come in all the way right up to the decoy. The other thing is too is that if you're the one lucky enough to run the call, you can mess with the guy running the shotgun. So if you want to stop him out there a long ways, you can, and shoot him before he gets too close. So there's lots of advantages being able to see. But that's the biggest deal, you know, is making sure you got a good place to set up and being still. There's a lot of times we've set, on stuff that look like this stage, and there's no brush around us or anything. Just set up and set still. And if you can keep the movement down, you call them in. We've got 2 or 3 of them on film. We'll show you here in a little bit. One of them, me and Todd are sitting there, and you see the coyote come across, and then you see me and Todd, and we're just sitting. It's a little 1 foot tall log, and he runs 10 foot in front of us. But it's tough. You're trying to move a camera and move a shotgun. Todd, he shoots at him on the run first time, but if you get somewhere and it's kind of iffy, and you can set still, just give it a shot, even if it's a good spot. There's another time me and Cal set up. We were in the middle of the grass was inch tall, and we called him in with 15 yards, shot him with a shotgun. So, it's just, it's tough because when you see him coming, your heart starts racing, you want to start moving. And, I know I've been there, I've done it. You can feel your heart beating in your chest, but if you can, after 1 or 2, if you can keep calm till right up to the very end, you can get it done.
And when it comes to picking at stands, I'm probably the pickiest out of the 3 of us.
No.
The way my mind works, I hunt with the boys a lot, and both of my boys killed coyotes with a shotgun by the time they were 8. And so I'm not looking for a pretty good stand most of the time. I'm looking for a perfect stand, because if you've ever tried to get an 8-year-old on a coyote with a shotgun, it's pretty tough. So I'm a little bit pickier, and that's key to getting a new hunter. Your stand is going to be totally key. If you can get the sun at your back, wind at your face, some elevation where you can see them coming, that way you can kind of, is this the one that's got to make the plan and all that on it?
Do what?
Oh, never mind. No, it's all right. But anyway, yeah, I think it's, like Clint said, it's key to take the time to really do it right so that you don't get busted, because if you travel all that and you've only got so much country to cover, you got to get set up right, and it's definitely important.
And that's true even when you do pick the perfect stand. We always mess with each other because we'll walk and look and go, man, it might be better over there, might be better over there. And after a while, we kind of look at each other and we're like, yeah, we're chasing the perfect stand right now that probably isn't here.
Right.
And finally, we just sit down. And sometimes that works out too. But even within the stand, we're pretty picky. I'll go down, if I'm running the shotgun, set the decoy out, and go pick a spot, sit there and look. No, get up and move 3 or 4 times before we start to call, and everybody's sitting up there going, really, dude, come on.
Right.
But it makes a difference. If you can see over that one piece of yucca or that one tree or down that one alley, it can really make the difference. And this next slide is, it kind of seems a little silly, but we run into it over the years, ran into it this year. How you actually sit your body on a stand can make a huge difference. If you're right or left-handed, it makes a difference. We're all right-handed, so it's easy for all of us to swing left. But if you get one back over here, it's hard to swing around and get up that way. So when we're sitting down on a stand, we try to position ourselves more with our left shoulder towards the decoy. And we always try to keep the shotgun pointed pretty close to where the decoy's at. But if we can swing that way, it's fine, and if we can swing this way, it's even better. So that seems really simple, but I tell you what, it can really make or break you. You don't realize you've made the mistake until there's a coyote at 30 yards right there,
Right.
and that's what makes it tough. Another thing to think about with that too is how you hold your shotgun. We hunt with a lot of different guys, and a lot of people I really don't guess in the past have used the shotgun much. So they'll go up there and sit down, have the shotgun across their lap, or, shotgun leaned up against a tree behind them, or just not have it ready. When a coyote shows up, you're thinking, you are what you got right there. You got to go from here, turn it around, do this. So we usually try to sit it with our back up against something, your knees propped up, shotgun on your knee to where you're there. I mean, all you have to do is just make that one little move, and you got it. But I can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake and seen that mistake made. Man, it can, when they blow up at the decoy, you better be ready, because they are getting it, Jack.
Yeah, and again, back to the deal with the kids or new hunters or somebody that, you know, we've got some guys that we hunt with that are getting up there in age a little bit. We've got these folding turkey chairs that are padded, and if you can't find a yucca or something else to get leaned up against or a mesquite tree, you know, that makes a big difference, especially for the kids, to help them stay comfortable enough that they'll stay still. And obviously staying still is super important.
Absolutely. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah. As far as what call goes, obviously we love our Fox Pros, and I think anybody that's hunted with one probably feels the same way. Priceless. I mean, they're just great calls. We do still call with hand calls some. A lot of times we'll start a standoff with a hand call, but like Clint was saying before, we like to set up where we've got pretty decent elevation and can pick those coyotes up out there pretty good ways and read their body language, especially a cat reading their body language. The nice thing about that, we'll usually switch straight over from a hand call to the electronic call as soon as we see something. And then with the electronic call, you can go through there, try different stuff. You know, our go-tos, if we have a cat show up and hang up, we always switch to baby cottontail, and it seems that's the one thing that always seems to untrack them. You get a coyote out there that hangs up, we'll switch over to pup distress, and it doesn't really seem to matter. You know, sometimes a year's obviously better than others, but it doesn't. The pup distress seems like it's one that almost always will get them to untrack. And but the nice thing is, on a typical stand, we'll have camera and rifle guys setting up high, you know, up on a little elevation, and then we'll have the shotgun guy down below, and then the decoy out about 15 or so, and or maybe 20 yards on the decoy. But that electronic call pulls that attention of that coyote away from you. If I'm sitting up here on the hill blowing a mouth call, he's going to immediately, especially with all the camera equipment we got and everything else, going to hone in on us. With electronic call, we set it close as we can to the decoy down there, and then they'll immediately lock in on the decoy, and that gives you just that much more freedom of movement, and you can just get away with a lot more. And again, I hate to keep talking about the kids, but I don't hate to keep talking about the kids, but it's
If you can get a kids to shoot one with a
yeah. I mean,
shotgun,
that's really, it's kind of like a handicap. If you can do it that way, you're doing something. So, you know, if you got two kids, my kids both want to run the shotgun nearly every stand. You got two kids squirming around and bumping each other, trying to knock the other one out of the way so they get to shoot, and all that attention's focused over there towards the decoy and the call instead of back towards us. It just gives you that much more freedom of movement.
about it, really.
Yeah.
There's advantages of the electronic call. Sometimes it doesn't play in your favor. There was a time that if you don't change the batteries, it gets a little rough. We called in a bobcat one day, and I had it blaring pretty loud, and believe it or not, he came in all the way. But make sure, that's another thing, if you're going to run electronic call, I know it sounds kind of, you know, dumb, change the batteries, because the last thing you do after you walk a mile or two is you get out there and you turn it on and it barks, and then that's it. And so, and if you don't have a mouth call, then you're really mad on the way back to the truck.
We had a bobcat this year. It'll be on next year's show, but we had a bobcat this year show up after we had shot a coyote. We'd been there 15 minutes. We were actually kind of really tearing down the stand, and started moving. And I looked up, man, there's a coyote out there 500 yards, and so I was hoping it was going to stop so I could shoot at it. We've been practicing out to 700-800 yards this year with the night forces and DPMS, so I was kind of getting pumped to have the opportunity to do that. Well, we started looking, it's a bobcat. Well, it comes up, sets up out there 500 yards, and start messing with it, start scrolling through sounds. Probably sat out there and watched us for a long time. Hit baby cottontail, wasn't happening. We're like, oh crap. But anyway, scrolled through and hit kitten distress, and that is a sound for bobcats that we've had a lot of good luck with. And it broke that cat loose and ran right up there to the decoy. So, and a cat that was just sitting there for 10 minutes, and that one sound just scroll through them. I mean, throw the kitchen sink at them. Sometimes the second or third time they hear a sound, they'll come. So you just never know. Obviously, decoys go hand in hand with electronic calls, so go ahead.
And that's it. That's the key to it. This new Fox Jack, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw it, I kind of laughed. I didn't think they'd call anything at all with this little thing. It just doesn't look like to me anything that would work. And we used it this year, and I had one come in, bite a hold of it, jump over the decoy, and bite at it again while it was slapping it in the face. And so it works, and it's light, and it's on the decoy. And like Cal was saying, all your sounds here, everything's here. If you can find some kind of little bush to put it in, and turn it on, man, if you look at it, if you're anything like me, you'd laugh because you wouldn't think that would work at all. But it's worked phenomenally well for us.
It really has. I mean, first time I saw it, I was like, man, it'll probably work really, really good for cats, coyotes, man, I don't know. And we've been super surprised. We got a little reel we're going to show you here at the end of the seminar, and I know y'all are all waiting for us to quit talking. But there's some clips in there with that decoy. That's probably some of the best decoy footage I've seen.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
And then the other decoy that we use a lot is the Jack Attack. It works good too, especially if you're hand calling. We've had really good luck with it. The advantage to the Fox Jack is you can carry it all in one piece. You know, we carry so dadgum much equipment as it is anyways. It's nice to kind of consolidate down. But the Jack Attack, we've had great luck with it too. I mean, they buy into it too. We were hunting, me and the boys were hunting one day and had the Jack Attack set up out there, and my youngest was trying to get his first with a shotgun, and we had one come screaming in and lock on the decoy, and I mean was coming full tilt, hit the Jack Attack so hard it broke the steel stake off in the bottom of the decoy. So I mean, they definitely buy into it.
Where you set the decoy makes a big difference. It can kind of make you or break you. I started using decoys probably close to 10 years ago. Some of the first decoys that came out that wobbled and were on springs and popped and gears and all kind of stuff. And the reason I started using decoys was because of this country right here. All the cultivated lands, little woodlots and waterways and stuff. I mean, a lot of times you'd have a coyote step up looking across a 300-yard open plowed field and go, yeah, I should be able to see that, and turn around and walk back into the brush. And that's when we started using decoys. And I tell you what, if we leave the decoy in the truck on a stand, I mean, it's like everybody's devastated. It's like, oh, what are we going to do now? But man, they're worth their weight in gold. And even, you know, if you're hunting farmland, that kind of stuff, we try to pick a pretty open area, you know, at least 20-yard circles, some of your biggest areas, shortest grass, to put the decoy in. Maybe up on a mound or something where they can see it from a little bit further out, because it's very, very rare, but decoys can spook coyotes every now and then, and I've honestly seen very, very few over the years. But most of the time when that happens is if they don't see it until they're right on top of it. You know, if they can see it from a long ways, they're going to pinpoint it, run right in on it. But if they're running along and all of a sudden it's right there beside them, they're like, ah, what's that? So it's the same deal. You got to pick where you set that decoy, where you set yourself. We spent a ton of time thinking about the little things, and everybody's always saying, man, how do y'all kill so many with a shotgun? It's the little things. I mean, it's the little bitty things that we do that help. Cal mentioned a second ago how far away. We usually will set a decoy probably no more than 30 yards away from us, a lot of times 20 yards, and it kind of depends on what you got. You don't want to set your decoy right on the edge of a rolling hill where you can't see on the other side of that hill. You want to draw them up there where you can shoot them. So we like to set it 20 to 30 yards, so if that coyote hangs up at 20 yards on the other side of the decoy, figures out something's not right, he's still within shotgun range. If you set it out there 50 yards and he stops out there, he's a long way out there. So it can really make you or break you. And just think about the little stuff. See, I've seen a lot of people in the past put their calling decoy right on a tree line or right on a fence line, and we like to pick open areas and draw coyotes out to where you can see them. If you put it on a tree line, you know, they can stand back there 30 yards in the tree line and eyeball it. You want to get them to where you can see them.
And this picture here is a prime example. You can tell that's pretty open country. That coyote ran in from probably 800 yards could see the decoy probably from 5, never checked up the whole way in, and at the second that picture's taken, he's fixing to run over the decoy and just realized there's 2 kids sitting up next to a yucca plant right there, and he's fixing to get shot in the face.
Yeah, this is a cool clip, and it'll be on the little teaser here in a minute. But that's the first time he took his eyes off that decoy. It was right at the last second. He went, "What's that?"
And
it
that was
sitting
it.
right there. Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
As far as kind of making a mental game plan, of course you're always thinking through as soon as you sit down, okay, you know, if he comes from here, what I need to do. If he comes from here, you know, you're going through all the scenarios in your head. The biggest thing that we see is, especially when we take other hunters out, is they just start fidgeting and panicking and just going nuts whenever they first see the coyote. I get really comfortable and I don't move until I'm fixing to shoot. Todd gives me crap all the time. He calls it showing the donkey the snake.
He does. I look over and I'm like, what's Cal doing? Does he even see it? He says he gets comfortable, but he's just like, what's up?
I just sat there with the shotgun down the whole time until I'm ready to kill him, and I throw up and kill him. Now Todd, he's a creeper. He'll sit there and he'll slowly ease up as the coyote's coming through and then kill him. But I like to just be perfectly still till the time would go. For some reason, it makes my heart beat faster to just sit there and try and be frozen till the last second and then throw up and kill them. So that's all just personal preference. But you got to have that, be playing that scenario through in your head ahead of time. If we sit down and I can see, you know, there's a creek or a dip or a low spot here or there, I usually will make a mental note right off the bat. If a coyote shows up, no matter if he's coming from here, here, or here, whenever he gets to a low spot, that's your chance to get resituated. So if you're sitting here and you got one coming from the hard left, and Todd set up like we talked about, you know, with your left shoulder to, the 12 o'clock of the decoy, and you have one show up over here, as soon as they hit that low spot and go out of sight, that's a good time for you to get resituated, anchored back in, and be perfectly still till they make it the rest of the way up there. But you know, it's just mental preparation, and don't panic, don't freak out, and just remember how important it is to be still.
Either way, not me and Cal do things a little bit different, but neither way is right or wrong. As long as you're comfortable with it and can do it. That's why we put up here, practice how you play. I mean, if you're gonna have to throw up on one and shoot, practice that. Practice snap shooting at them. Practice, you know me, I'll have bipods and the shooting rest up there. I like to be ready, but neither way's wrong as long as you get them killed. Oh, I think we're getting, have fun. That's the main thing we always try to do no matter what we do is have fun. If you're not having fun, man, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, this is one of the most fun types of hunting you can do. And, man, we have fun every time we go out. And it's just hard to beat. When it stops being fun, we stop thinking we're better than everybody else and all that stuff. We ain't no different than y'all. We just have a camera following us around. So. And
it's fun. You just have to make it fun. I mean, we do it all day, every day, and we'll get to one and call in a bobcat 850 yards and come to the decoy, and somebody forgot to put bullets in the gun. It's all going to happen to you, but if you get mad and fist fight in the pasture, it doesn't make it fun. You just grin and giggle and go to the next one, you know.
I can honestly say this was the funnest year of coyote hunting I've ever had, and bringing Clint on and the chemistry between everybody, we just made a deal right off the get-go that we weren't going to take ourselves too seriously and kind of get back to our roots and just cut up and have fun. And some of the funnest days, and I think funnest episodes that we had all year, were the crappiest hunting conditions you can imagine. And you just have to be mentally tough enough to go, you know what, I'm here, this is what I'm doing anyway, I'm going to have fun. We're going to shoot bottle rockets underneath the door while Todd's in the bathroom, or
thanks for that.
Have Clint try and jump out the window and ride a bull, or whatever it takes, and that's definitely a key, for sure.
Hey Les, will you cue the video? This is just a video. This is just pretty much everything that went on this year. It's only about 5 minutes, but I don't know how many kills are in there, but it's just a fun loop, some funny stuff that we did through the year and had a good time. So,
but out of all the kills that are on this,
kill something. Come on.
There's only There's only 2
shotgun
that are rifle. Everything else is shotgun
Brandon.
on this video.
This ain't us.
I'll get out of y'all's way. If y'all have any questions at all, feel free to ask. I know they got some other stuff going on, so we're going to be hanging out between the Fox Pro and EOTech booth. But if y'all have any questions at all, feel free to ask.
I don't know if we got.
We may not have the answers, but we'll make it up.
So
We may
thanks for coming out, everybody.
Yep, appreciate it. And again, thanks for all the support this year, and thank y'all for coming out.